Hi, this is Bobby at Copel TV Repair, and this is a quick reminder for everyone who is buying parts online about some of the risks associated with that. This is also going to be sent to the vendor for this board that we purchased. Um, this is a chop shop or a TV repair shop, a place that sells a lot of those. It doesn't really matter which one of them it is. It can happen to anyone. It can happen to us as well. It tends to happen less, I am guessing, for companies that have encountered that problem, and everyone in the business will encounter eventually that problem, and have taken steps to avoid happening in the future. And what I'm talking about is boards being stacked one on top of another, like those here, without anything in between, or like the ones over there. But it's specifically true for or the ones over here. So it is what it is, and if you know how you're handling it, then well, there's no excuse of doing it this way. That is bottom line, and I'm not better than those guys. But long story short is when you're buying parts that have been, especially from chop shops, that just stock them, they pile them, they move them, they restock them, they don't test them, they don't have time for that. Most of them, especially once they get out of the TV, they don't. A TV repair shop like with here, any one of those boards, if it ever becomes to life, they are where they are because there was something wrong with them that wasn't available, resolvable within reasonable time, so they're put up for later review. But no matter what, those boards will be going through testing before they see life. Now, something may still, the way they're the way they're stored and piled on top of each other, something may still be ripped off, and that is what I'm about to show you off the bottom, and it may be minor and it may not show in our test, so that is entirely possible. However, when you buy from a chop shop, it is increasingly likely that you will encounter things like, let me try and find them because they weren't available. There was something next to this EEPROM here. Yeah, so C99028 is totally missing. It's ripped off. There were better things somewhere up. Let me see. Yeah, you can see that one here that is ripped off, and this is a resistor. Now, if it is a capacitor, many times you may not even notice it. But a resistor ripped off like that, you can see that one up here, that is also a capacitor. I don't know if you can easily tell that those are ripped off. For me, it is easy to tell. I don't know how much I can zoom without losing quality. Because the solder tips there are kind of edgy, as opposed to plain nice and round like here. Or like here, those are fine. But one over there is missing. There were also another few missing resistors somewhere around here. And this happens when boards are just piled on top of each other. We saw that one, but there was another one. There was a resistor that was missing. Those may be enough. I don't remember where it was. Don't want to move too fast because it's hard, but I noticed yet another one. And if there is one, usually there is two, and if there's two, there is usually more. Sometimes they're sectioned. Something like that may happen if that pile starts falling down and the boards slide off each other and they rub off each other, and it doesn't take much to find those components. And now going through every single one of them is a royal pain, but it's very easy to miss something. It's very easy for something to be on the other side as well. So when you are buying parts on eBay, take a look at how many people complain. There is no silver bullet against those type of situations. We bought this board to repair it and eventually resell it, but the effort of going through all possible damages here make it, in my opinion, pointless. So when you buy stuff, you cannot be protected from that, but you can at least make sure that you're buying. Personally, I would rather buy from a well-described listing from individual seller. It's kind of like well, not exactly kind of like buying a car. From a dealership, you usually pay more, but you kind of get a little bit better protection. But I have always preferred to buy from people, and I get to know these people that are selling if I'm buying a used car. Because what the person is and what they tell you and the way they tell it can tell you a lot about the condition of that car. Of course, there is a risk involved in that as well. But dealership is not going, moving tons of cars through their hands. And in the same fashion, a company that sells parts that it takes apart from something, they don't care and they cannot possibly, their goal is to move as many as they can. So just be watchful. This may be otherwise, it may have been good working board when they tested it. This did not happen in shipping, by the way, for sure. It was packed in an envelope, which is not a good thing, but that was the smaller problem. So watch out and get it from individual people who have always get it from sellers with high ratings, but I would prefer something from individual user, except there are companies that may be the only available source. That is all. Best of luck in your repairs and happy hunting.